Welcome along. It is Wednesday. It is qualifying time for this week's huge GP event. It sees the return of the legendary Drivers GP event, and hopefully we're going to score some decent points. We are in Champions for the main account while we test some stuff on the free-to-play account down in Junior before we look at changing the main account's series level entry. So it is the legends of Fittipaldi, Andretti and Villeneuve who are boosted, but they are not good enough for us. Now, what tracks have we got? You should know because we went qualifying with them as well. It is Monaco, Monza, Zandvoort and Silverstone. We use them in the qualifying guide, so make sure to go and check them out. Now we are going to get involved straight away. We're going to go for race 1. And just a note, we are going to take a little bit of more qualifying. Monaco is tough, so we're going to make the most of a little bit of extra qualifying stats. We're down to 2:43 on the cornering, and we're going for Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. Can we get the job done? Let's go find out in race number 1. So first up then, here we go. It's a team score which is 100 lower than ours, so we are going to benefit from this one, fingers crossed. Now, let's see with our a little bit more qualifying on the car, where we're going to qualify, and is it going to do the job with having enough speed, well, cornering in the race. We qualify P9 and P12. Now, if you don't know, Monaco a little bit tougher now, so we're going to go for mediums instead of running the softs normally. We're going to go on to Prince Boost, because it is the best boost around, and we're going to go and try and smash 47. Let's go then, not a real player, as we get racing around the prestigious track of Monaco. And it usually helps if you push Norris off the start, because you want to be going forward, not backwards. And already we are just trying to creep through, but not making any big grounds right now. We are up to P8. Hopefully a little push from Leclerc will help us get through, but not the best start, as you can see. P7 and P8, or P9 even. And looks like it's going to be seems a little bit delayed, which is very frustrating because we can't move cars the game keeps freezing. I can't turn the screen. This is feeling very weird. So, P8 and P5. Let's just try and not move too much. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit bugged on the screen changing as we try and make our way through. And on the pushing as well. It just feels a bit sticky. But let's see. We're trying to get past Lewis Hamilton. Oh yeah, it definitely doesn't work like it did once before. It's a bit sluggish. Again, it just changes when we hit the power button. So up to P4. We've still got to look after power unit here. P4, P7. We've got Albon ahead of us. We're going to cut back down on both. And we're just going to gain some power unit now. So up the hill. We're not out of this one at all. We've got soft and mediums ahead. We're not too far off. We can't... It definitely looks like they've changed the buttons of some sort because we can't really push too hard. It's a bit delayed. As we... Come on, press the button. I don't know if it's just me or might have to reload the game after this one. But we're up to P3. Leclerc currently cannot get through. There'll be a pit stop from Leclerc. And yeah, trying to conserve is tough. And go back to medium. But we'll reset after this game. Safety car is out though. Safety car is out. So we're going to go on to softs. Because we'll be able to do 1 lap at a cruise. And 3 laps pushing no problem. That should be what we need though. To be able to get through solidly here. We don't even need to go softs. We could potentially go onto some mediums. But we're going to be quick. We're going to be fast and furious. So we'll come back and complete. So probably a little bit of help in this race. P2, P5. And we're not really going to lose too much ground either. We've got P6, which was the Ferrari who pitted for softs. So they'll be all good. But we'll gain some power unit back. Here is Lando Norris into the pits. And here is Leclerc as well, who's going to be coming out. He's going to come out ahead of the McLaren of Norris, but just behind the Mercedes. So, hopefully we're going to get 47 points here. If we have a look, we've got Albon, Leclerc, Sainz and Russell. Russell will pit at some point, but we're going to gain full power unit, and then we're going to go on the attack. Looking pretty good. P2, P7. Surely we're going to be quick on these softs. Leclerc maybe can't go to the end. So it's all about getting past Albon 2. We've got a 100% power unit. We've got nearly 100% power unit. And we won't have, by the time we set off, 98, 99. It is going to just get to around 100. The Red Bull pits, that releases us into P1. We've got P6 for Leclerc. So again, Leclerc's now just got to get past a few cars. Don't want to get too far ahead. And we're already into P5. There is P2, P3, P4. All cars that we have to overtake with 2.5 laps remaining here in Monaco. Can we get the job done? Carlos Sainz up next. We're past Carlos Sainz. We've got Albon and the Ferrari. We are hunting down here. And there could be a potential move. Can we get past Alex Albon? We're going to go to the outside. We're going to get a screen grab for a thumbnail. We're not going to get through just yet. We're going to conserve back down. We've still got 2 laps. Don't need to panic. We're okay on tyres, but P2 is getting ahead. P2 will surely have to pit though. And how have we just lost out to Sainz? How has Sainz on medium tyres just absolutely flown one past us? How does that work? How has Carlos Sainz just been able to do that? We're back up to P4 though. And now we need to get past Alex Albon. The Ferrari will surely pit. And now we're into P3. The Ferrari doesn't pit. Doesn't pit the Ferrari. We've got to watch our tyres. They are surely going to run out here. Surely this is game over for Leclerc. The hunt is on. We're just going to catch him gradually because our tyres are a little bit of a pain as well. You can see how much harder it is now to run soft tyres. As we look at that tyre, now he's out of tyres and we're through. We've made it. It was 8 laps of frustration, but we are now into P2. Lando Norris is going to come home and walk it in the end, but it's a great start to life on the main account. Leclerc runs out of tyres but does just get through. It's P1 for Lando, P2 for Charles Leclerc. And after that little bit of sluggish gameplay and safety car, we take 47 points from the very first race, and I think we have Zandvoort potentially up next, or is it maybe Monza? Ooh, Monza, that's going to be tough. I think Monza and then Zandvoort, isn't it? So 47 points in the bag. And then you see 100 team score difference, which was good. And you got the drivers, Verstappen, Bottas, and a car, which was completely balanced as well. Race number 2 then, a incredibly difficult matchup. 1-6-3-9 team score for the rival, I think it was. That is huge, and that's going to be painful as well. The question is, can we overcome it? Look at the qualifying. It's not great. P4, P6, P12, P15 for the Raw. We are going to be in trouble. Now, we're going to use Eagle so that we can run the softs here. If we can find the Eagle boost, and I think it's near the top. That is white. There it is. We're going to go 4 soft, 4 soft. We're going to need all the luck here. We've got P4 hards, P6 mediums. So 1 stopping, guaranteed. We've got a perfect and a fast start. But this could be game over already, because we had this in opening round last week where we could not get near the hard tyre. They got a good start like they have today, and they just disappeared. We couldn't get through. But luckily, Lando Norris has made a good start and has got himself up to P5, something that we couldn't do at the weekend, and we're already ahead past him in P4. That is good. Now we need to keep on trucking along here. We need to stay ahead of that hard tyre if we want this to work. Round the outside, through the middle of both Ferraris we go. That was a fantastic move, and hopefully we can stay ahead of the rival. This is a big team score matchup in race number 2, where we failed last week. Can we get through this week? Come on, believe. We've got to believe. And I think we've seen off the pace of him at the moment. He's currently dropped his power unit, and we are clear. Just shows you the difference a race can make. And there's Leclerc into P3. So remember, we changed to our cornering setup to our speed setup in this one. So make sure to change yours, because you're going to need the speed. That rival hasn't really got far at all. It'll be interesting to see what setup they're running, because they don't really have much pace right now. Norris P1. Leclerc P3. Closing in on Max Verstappen now as well. And we are through. So, round the final corner we will go with Norris. We'll come back for some softs, because we should be able to cruise on softs here. And this is looking very nice. I was worried, I was scared after that very first matchup, but this is looking like it's going to be absolutely fine. The reboot of the game has helped the game delay. We now can access the little engine modes a lot better. Not sure what happened, maybe just a little bit of a delay bug. But as we come round, Norris is going to pit, and now Leclerc is going to pit as well as we come in. So Norris will come back out. We're going to gain some power unit on Lando, just to look after the tyres. We're going to come out comfortably in P2 as well. Rival's going to come down, or he was P2 comfortably. I'm going to leave it on conserve. We don't need to do anything here. Rival's got a pit. We are ahead nicely. This is what we needed. I'm shocked that we've got it though. So here we go. We are looking good. Just going to cruise. Just going to look after these tyres. We can probably push a lap later on. We don't need to. But all we're going to do is just look after and make sure that we are absolutely fine. Now the good thing about using softs is you can conserve and you can still carry some good pace. That is the difference with them. And that is what we need big time. 1, 2, lap 6. Almost about to start lap number 7. And we are so far clear. We are just cruising on conserve. That's all we need. That's all we need. A bit of confidence booster after the little scare in Monaco. We're back with a bang in this one. And again, in my strategy guide, 4 soft, 4 soft. Both of these drivers have roughly 73 tyre management, and Eagle will give them 93. So you're looking at 90 tyre management to be able to run the 4 soft, 4 soft. We have got 1 and a bit laps to go. We're going to bring this home what looks to be quite nicely. We're going to keep an eye, and we're going to just push Norris for a bit of fun. And then coming around the final corner, we'll also push Leclerc. We've managed to conserve a lot of tyre in this one. And now we can just have some fun. Let them be free, release the shackles, and let them bring this home to another race number 2, 47-point potential finish. That is what we want. Now Leclerc, coming up to the back of some traffic here. And we're just going to get him through. But we are well clear of the rival. That's all that matters. P6, P7. They kind of felt quite slow, the rival. So I'm interested to see what setup they are running. Whether or not it was a balance for Jules. Because obviously series strategies have changed now. We'll find out. But Leclerc is over. Right behind our friend Kevin Magnussen. And that is a solid 47. A difficult track. Overcome quite nicely, and we'll wait for them to finish. P6, P7. We'll check that setup because I feel like they're running slower. They certainly feel a bit slower in that race. 1639, nearly 100 team score ahead of us. The drivers, level 6, so ahead of our Norris. And the car, I was right. It was a balanced setup for Monza. And that is why we absolutely steered clear. Here we are then, off to race number 3. We are now off to Zandvoort, and a matchup that is in our favour, which is obviously always good. We've gone back to our Monaco setup for qualifying in this track, which is notoriously a little bit more difficult for a race start. We have drafted in Alex Albon and Max Verstappen, a little bit more overtaking on Albon than Norris, and Verstappen obviously good overtaking too with qualifying as well. So we're going medium, medium. The best boost around here is definitely the cuppa, because us Brits love a cuppa. And it's a 4 medium run. So, P14 for the rival, but a 1-stop or a 2-stop. 1-stop beats all day long. So that soft tyre probably only going to get 3 laps because it's Alex Albon as well. This is why we took Albon for a little bit of a good race start and a respectable qualifying position. He's up to P5 already, and Max Verstappen not had the best effect that we want. Hasn't really made any ground on them opening first race starts. So P4 for Albon, and now we can try and get Max Verstappen through. It shouldn't be a problem as long as we don't let the AI get too far ahead. As we come round the final turn, on lap number 1, we are up to P1 already. Albon into the lead, and Verstappen has got traffic around him. Can Verstappen come through the field like he's done before in F1 and make up a good solid amount of places? There is the rival pushing, but we get a double overtake past 8 and 9, and we're up into P7. So Max Verstappen starting to motor in Zandvoort in front of his home crowd, and now he's past Norris. Can he get past Leclerc? Not quite, but the old traction off the corner is decent, and we're up to P5. P1 and P5. Albon is clear out front, and now we've got to focus up. Can we get the job done? We're going to keep pushing Verstappen. There is P2, 3 and 4, who we're going to need to overtake. Conserve down this section. You don't gain any time, and then you can push on the way out. Nice, great overtaking. That's where we like. Again, just conserve through here. Push to the corner, and you'll close up nicely. And leave it on medium. And look at the speed that we've got over them. So pit stop time then. And tell you what, Verstappen is into P3. There's a pit stop for the Williams driver. And now Verstappen versus Verstappen. Game over. It's took us 4 laps. Well, just over 3. And we've managed to get through. We have got through the likes of the AI. The rival is not really an issue down in P10 or P13. And now we can just come and finish our laps. So Albon will pit from the lead. Lower tyre management, but absolutely fine for Zandvoort. And we're in. We'll move up to medium. 2.65 seconds pit stop. Not as fast as the real F1 sometimes. In the old 1.9s these days. But then we are out. Still P3 though. Leclerc ahead of us. Just got to get past him. Shouldn't be an issue. He hasn't pitted. Verstappen has pitted on the mediums. So as long as we can keep him at bay, and we can. Up to P2. Good move. And we can continue on. So lap number 6 we are starting. Good start to qualifying at the Legendary Drivers GP event. This is what we needed. And this is what we will continue to do. So Albon P1, Verstappen P2. We are clear of P3, clear of the rival. It is now a case of bringing it home. Which should be doable, should be easy. Even a safety car now, not going to be an issue. Never finished under the safety car though. But Albon is winning with lap 7. And our little qualifying jobby has done well. Now we've got Silverstone up next, which could be an interesting one. We're going to power unit for Silverstone and in the wet. That could be interesting. Power unit is ridiculously broken this year, it feels. It is so fast. So we'll find out how that one goes. Hopefully you're still here and you're going to be watching that one. Make sure to hit that like button if you are watching at this point. Albon, final lap time here in Zandvoort. Max Verstappen trying to close him down, trying to get a win under his home crowd. Not today though. Alex Albon drafted in from the reserves and it looks like he is going to get a perfect race victory. This is why it's all about utilising the drivers that you have. There's not just one good driver. And Albon's going to come through nicely. So Albon brings it home in race number 3. He comes through in P1. And it's Max Verstappen following not too distant away in P2. It is a 47 start to qualifying with just the one race left to do, coming from the home of motorsport, Silverstone. Can we finish qualifying with that magic 188 points? We'll certainly find out. 47 points, let's go. We'll show you what the rival is running. 1419. Level 5, level 4. And cornering setup. Not too bad at all. Right then, one to go. We head to Zandvoort. We don't. Because we've just done that one. Tricked you. We head to Silverstone. Here we go then, the final race of qualifying. It will be the final race of qualifying as long as we score 188 points. If not, we will probably be back for another day. But we're here at the UK, and the UK is actually blazing heat right now, so it's a bit odd that you've picked the wet stuff, because it's warm here at the moment. We've put in Max Verstappen and Alonso. We have got our power unit set up as well. And we're going to go on to Frost. Now, it says I can only do 3 laps on the wets. I'm pretty sure 4 is nice and easy. But let's find out then, as we get racing. No boosts by the rival, so looking like it is a bot. We've got a fast start. And we've got the boosts of race start, tyre management and power unit. 2 of the track stats. And Max Verstappen taking the outside line. That is perfect. Goes back into the middle. Alonso getting a little bit of a rough start. But that shouldn't be anything we can't overcome around here. Now, the reason I'm fairly confident is because if you've raised power unit this season, power unit is ridiculously quick. It feels like we're so much quicker over the AI with what we've got. And you can see we are absolutely flying through the pack. Now, look at that, into nearly P1. We're not even pushing, by the way. We're into P7 without pushing. And, yeah, it gets pretty straightforward now. We're going to get Verstappen, hopefully through down the bottom of the straight, past, and get him up into P number 1. There you go, P1. And already Alonso, who he picked for his tyre management, is coming round, making up tons of ground too. He's up into P4 now. And look at the power unit we've got left. So, because we're over 200 power unit, we can do pretty much 2 full laps at a push in Silverstone. And the AI don't push, we know that. And it makes for incredible pace. You can see 100% power unit, and we're in the lead by a decent margin. We've got very good tyres left. I didn't think there would be a problem of doing 4 laps. Even though we are using a frost boost, you would have been able to do 4 anyway with the 80 tyre managements. And now we can just keep on pushing, keep on trucking. Here goes Alonso, and he's in to P2. So Alonso P2, Verstappen P1. A good start to qualifying. We've got a pit stop coming up as well. And you'll have a lot of people in Champions this week. A lot of the AI will pit on lap number 4. So the AI rival will come in and a few from the back. But the majority will pit on lap number 4. So you want to make sure you change before they do to get the nice undercut. Or you get ahead of them and just blast away as well. Rival not really making any ground. P10, P15. And now we can come into the pits. This is just relatively straightforward right now. We're going to come in. We'll expect everybody else in the pits on this lap too. And there you go. P1 coming out already. We can literally push the last 2 laps. No problem. Everybody, look, coming in. Majority of cars. That is why, if you're from the back, you want to avoid lap number 4. And you want to come in on lap number 3. Because it is chaos. We've got P3 closing. Because we are currently conserving. We don't need to conserve, so we'll blast that back up. And now we'll pull away from the Ferrari. We have got 2 laps to go to bring this home to a perfect qualifying round. We'll push Verstappen out of the final corner. We will push Alonso out of the final corner for a lap of attack. See what sort of lap time that we can do with Frost in the wet in Silverstone. 2 laps, less than 2 laps to go. And we're looking good. We're looking very good. Looking very good indeed. So, P1, P2. Blasting away. Putting the lap times in. And already Verstappen coming round, final corner. Going to cross the line. 50% tyres. Alonso crosses the line. 50% power unit. So I told you, pretty much 2 laps of full power unit is so beneficial. Going to keep on pushing though. For a bit of fun. New sector time, 10.9 by Alonso. Keep him going. See what times we can light up on the track. And then we're going to come to end. Look at that. It is literally 2 laps. And they've still got cars coming in the pits. Verstappen crosses the line. Perfect on the power unit. And so does Fernando Alonso. It is legit 2 laps that we can do. And it is a beautiful start. We've got the rival currently out there. It's P5 and P7. Let's go. Let's go indeed. Rival just ran out of tyres on the P6. The bot did. And P7 just coming across the line now. So we do come through with some good points. That is exactly what we wanted. We needed a perfect start to qualifying life. And that is what we have got. 1,408 for the rival. Big team score difference. And the car was power unit. Great setup. Just needs higher levels. But that is solid work. There was Verstappen and Alonso, by the way. 91 tyre management for Alonso. So, as we look towards the group then, we are through. Don't see any problem with that. We've got a decent enough lap time on the board, which was a 29.7. And we are looking okay. A lot of people dropping points already, so that is going to cement our place to the weekend. But we're through. Qualifying is done and dusted. Make sure to leave me a comment. Are you using legendary drivers this week? Let me know down below if you've got that far. And fingers crossed we can get through the weekend in the legendary drivers GP event. Fingers crossed. But we need some luck because it's been a queue, a top 10, a queue, a top 10, a queue pretty much at the moment. And we need to try and avoid that going forward as we now hunt down some more points and prizes this weekend. Good luck in your rounds.